Hello and welcome to my world. Well, it's been a summer of a lot of travel videos and I hope everybody has been enjoying that. But here on my channel, I've decided to return back to my roots a little bit and I will be focusing more on my hobby of RC monster trucks. And in this video, I'm introducing my latest RC monster truck project, which is what you see here in pieces. And I've been slowly acquiring all the parts necessary to build my next project truck, which will once again be based on a Tamiya Clod Buster. And I have not decided on the name for this truck yet, but that will be coming up in a later video. I have the name narrowed down to a few choices, but I haven't made the final selection yet. So before I get started putting stuff together, I just wanted to show you what individual parts I will be using for this latest project truck. And I don't have all the parts just yet, so if anybody's built one of these custom from the ground up Clod Busters knows there's a lot of parts that you need to put one of these trucks together, so I'm still in the process of acquiring those, but I have pretty much about 90% of them right here that you see right in front of you. And I'll just kind of go through them, what I have here. And this whole project started out because I wanted to build a truck that had larger tires than the stock Tamiya ones. And so that's why I acquired these 4 IMEX Swamp Dog tires for the Tamiya Clod Buster, and those are on JPS plain style machined aluminum wheels. And I like those wheels because they remind me of the aluminum wheels that were used on USA 1 back in the day. USA 1 was one of the few monster trucks that actually had aluminum wheels on it, and I will always like those. And they also kind of remind me of centerline wheels too, and I've always liked centerlines. They look cool. And those tires are a little bit bigger than the stock Tamiya tires. The backbone of this truck will be a CPE time warp chassis right there, made out of aluminum. And I like that chassis because it has adjustable height and an adjustable wheelbase built into it. So it's one of the few aftermarket Clod Buster chassis that has both of those adjustments in it. And the body of this truck will be a Clod Buster Black Edition body right there. And I always wanted to build a black Clod Buster from day one, but I just never had the painting skills required to do that. But thankfully Tamiya makes this body molded in black plastic, black styrene, from the factory, so no painting required. And I have a complete body kit with all the decals and stuff. I will not be using the grill that came with that body though. I will be using an older style grill that I have just sitting in my parts box. The body also will be using an Arch Fabrication CNC machined aluminum hood scoop and Chatham CNC front and rear bumpers shown there, and also a Chatham machined aluminum double tube roll bar right there with the light bar mount on it. And I would like to use the Chatham CNC quad tube roll bar because it reminds me of the ESP one that was made, but I already have an ESP one on the King Clod. So one of my objectives for this truck was to not make a carbon copy of the King Clod. So just do things, it's still a Clod Buster, but just want to do it a little bit different than what I already have on the ESP King Clod. So the King Clod already has one of the ESP quad tube roll bars. So I just decided to do things a little bit different and just get the double tube Chatham CNC bar instead, which the Chatham one is a replica of the double tube ESP one that was available back in the day. This truck will have a black and red color scheme to it. So that's why I have red aluminum motor heat sinks right there. And also, it took a while. This is one of the reasons I had a long delay in buying parts for this truck and why this truck is kind of dragged on for a long time. And that's because I wanted to use something different for the gear cases and axle tubes. And I have never used Hesse Machine aluminum gear cases and axle tubes before. So that's why it took a while for these to come in stock. But finally they are in stock. And as of this recording right now, everything is in stock that you see here on the Hesse Machine website. And so I have 2 gear cases, full set of axle tubes, and full set of their steering knuckles. And I'm very anxious to start putting the internal parts inside of these so I can compare them to the JPS ones and the hot racing ones that I have on my other trucks. And I'll probably do a video on that once I start putting in all the driveline components inside of here. I'm thinking of doing, before I complete the final assembly of this truck, I'm thinking of doing just a side-by-side comparison of the Hesse Machine gear cases, axle tubes, and steering knuckles compared to the JPS ones. And I have an old set of JPS gear cases and axle tubes that I have just lying around complete, just kind of sitting in my spare parts box. So I'm thinking, when I get these all assembled together, of doing a video just showing those side by side so people can know the differences between the current latest machined aluminum gear cases that are on the market made by Hesse, and compare those to the old original ones, the guys that started the whole Clod Buster machined aluminum gear case and axle tube idea, the JPS ones. Just show them side by side, because not a lot of people have probably seen those nowadays, now that JPS has been out of business for quite a while. So leave some comments below if you guys would like to see a side-by-side comparison of the Hesse Machine parts for Clod Busters compared to the JPS machine parts for Clod Busters. I'd like to see a video about that subject. Please let me know. And I'm kind of leaning towards doing that, but let me know what you guys think if you'd like to see such a thing. Going down the table here, we have some parts from Paru, and this is a Paru machined aluminum front bumper with a servo mount on it. I've never done bumper mounted servos before. Everybody has done that with Clod Busters except me. I'm probably the only Clod Buster enthusiast, been into Clod Buster since the Clod Buster first came out in 1987, who has never mounted a servo on the front bumper. So this will be a four-wheel steering truck, so it'll have servos mounted on the front and the rear. So I'm very anxious to, once again, try doing something different. The ESP King Clod and also my bullhead truck, Raging Bull, they both have the stock style servo mounted in the center of the chassis. So this time I decided to do things a little bit different, which do something that everybody else has been doing since day one, and try mounting the servos on the bumpers. See what they see if they work out pretty good, like everybody says they work real good. So try that. The other parts from Paru have some Paru aluminum body mounts. Those just came out. Those are brand new. And also I have the anti-rotation brackets right here, machined aluminum ones made by Paru. And these parts should look familiar. These are the Paru machined aluminum ladder bars that were originally on Raging Bull before I swapped those over to the hot racing ones. So I didn't throw them away. They're not in the trash. They've just been sitting here in my spare parts box ever since I got the hot racing ones installed on Raging Bull. So I decided to save these, and I'm going to use them on this truck. Next on down the line here are all the shock absorbers that I needed for this truck. Yes, this truck will have 16 shock absorbers, just like the King Clod and just like Raging Bull. But these are shocks that I bought off of eBay, made by OC Racing. Never heard of this company before. Just that when you need to buy 16 shock absorbers, you need to buy as cheap as possible. And these were pretty cheap, so that's why I got these. And also the color. Like I said, this truck will have a red and black color scheme, so I will be using these nice anodized red shock absorbers. These are J-Concepts titanium suspension ball studs and ladder bar ball studs right here. So these are, I've been using these on all of my other two trucks, the King Clod and also the Raging Bull, and I really like those, so decided to get them for this truck too. All the wiring will once again be Dean's Wet Noodle 12 gauge wiring, and all the plugs will be Dean's Ultra plugs. The real deal right here. These are not copies, these are not fake ones, which are all over the internet nowadays, but these are the real deals, genuine Dean's Ultra plugs. As far as electronics go, we'll be using a good old Novak Super Rooster. Got a brand new one here, right here, still in the box. And also a Novak NER2X 2-channel receiver. I really like that one. I used it for the first time on Raging Bull, had good results with it, and so I'm going to use it again on this truck. And both of those have gone up quite a bit on the resale market nowadays, so I was lucky I managed to find two of them brand new, still in the original packaging. For steering, I'll be using the Hi-Tech HS645MG servos, front and rear, so I got two of those. I really like those servos, they're great for the price. And on the roll bar will be Ram machined aluminum off-road lights. Yes, Ram still makes these. I was shocked. On their website, it doesn't look like you can order them still, because they don't do online ordering, but there is a phone number on their website. So I actually called the number and I got in touch with them, and I was really lucky that I called them at just the right time because they had just sent out an order for new lights to be made at the machine shop, and I got them in a couple weeks. So very, very, very thankful that they still actually make these. So if you do want a set of these, I knew they do go for a pretty penny on the used market nowadays. Some insanely high prices on the used market nowadays. But they are still available from Ram. Just give them a call, and at least at the time I'm filming this, they still had some in stock. So if they don't, they make them in batches. So if you want them, just be patient if they don't have them in stock, and they'll send your order out with a big batch at one time, and then they will get them. But if you want them, they're still available. Don't pay the crazy sky-high prices people are charging for them on the second-hand market. They're available brand new from Ram. And connected to the string servos will be 2 Kimbrough heavy-duty servo savers, front and rear. So those are all the parts that I have so far for my latest project truck, which, as I said, this truck is still unnamed. That's one of the always the traditionally last things I do whenever I build a new project truck, is give it a name. So I haven't decided the name yet. I've narrowed it down to about 2 or 3 different choices, and in a future video I'll announce the official name. So one thing you notice I do not have here just yet are motors. So the motors I want are not in stock right now. So I'm waiting for those to come in stock, and then I'll place an order for those, and those will be probably my next major purchase for this truck. But that won't stop me from starting on this truck, so I probably will start assembling it pretty soon when I have a free weekend, whenever that will be, and maybe during the rainy season here when there's nothing else to do except lock myself in the garage and start building stuff and turning wrenches. So, but I'll take you along the way. I'll show you what this truck will look like when it's all done, but before then, like I said, I'll show probably a few videos of its construction progress as I go along. And if it's requested enough, I'll probably do a video side by side of machined aluminum gear cases and axle tubes from Hesse Machine compared to the traditional old-fashioned JPS ones. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next video.